Good morning, dear children. Today we are going to continue our chapter, The Great Train Journey. This is the third video of this chapter. In previous two chapters, we studied the story of Suraj, who was fond of train journey. He entered into the train that was goods train, and this carriage in which he entered was filled with crates of apples. He met a man in the carriage, and he had lot of conversation with him. Suraj expressed his desire of traveling all over the world, and the man gave him some advices that when he'll get down on the next station, he will get the ship, and through the ship he can go to the China. Likewise, many advices he gave, and on the next halt, the next station, that man got down from the train. Now only Suraj was left in the carriage, and the two laborers came to take out the crates from the carriage. Let's see what happened further with Suraj. Suraj waited until the man had gone away before coming down from the rack, where he was when he heard the sound of the doors and windows being opened and closed, doors of the carriage being opened and closed. He hit on the wooden rack in the corner of the carriage, and he did not come out until the men left the carriage. After about 5 minutes, the train started again. It shunted up and down. Shunted means it pushed or pulled up and down, then gathered speed and went rushing across the plain. Then a train started, it took the speed and it ran fast. Suraj felt a thrill of anticipation. Anticipation means something that is going to happen, and thrill means he was very excited. Suraj felt excitement of what was going to be happened with him. Where would they be going now? He was very much surprised where he will go, where he will reach. He wondered what his parents would do when he failed to come home that night. Now he started thinking about his parents. He thought that if today night he will not reach home, his parents will be worried about him. They would think he had run away or been kidnapped. He thought that his parents will think that either he ran away from home, or he is kidnapped by someone, or been involved in an accident, or maybe by chance he met with an accident. They would have the police out, and there would be search parties. He thought that they will inform police and there will be search party. Police will keep on searching him. Suraj would be famous, the boy who disappeared. He thought that in this way he will be very famous. The train came out of the jungle and passed fields of sugarcane and village of mud huts. Now train came out of the jungle, and it was passing through the sugarcane fields and the village where the huts were made up of mud. Children shouted and waved to the train, though there was no one in it except Suraj. It was goods train, and we know that in goods train there are no human beings, only the driver of the train, or one or two, three people will be there. But children were still waving at the train. The guard, there were, except Suraj, the guard and the engine driver, only 3 of them were there in the train. Suraj waved back. Suraj also waved back, though children were not able to see Suraj, but still he waved. Waving means, my dear children, waving hand like this. Usually he was in a field waving. Today he was actually on the train. Usually what was happening, he was in the field waving to the people, those who are traveling in the train. But today he was in the train and somebody else was waving. He was beginning to enjoy the ride. Now he was enjoying his ride in the train. The train would take him to the sea. He was just imagining this train will take him to the sea, and there he will get the ship and he will reach to China, so and so on. There would be ships with funnels and ships with sails, and might even be one to take him across the ocean to some distant land. He was imagining that this train will take him to the sea. There would be ships with funnels. Funnels means metal chimneys. Ships with metal chimneys or funnels, and ships with sails. Different kinds of ships he will see, and these ships will take him to the far away lands. He felt a bit sorry for his mother and father. He was thinking them, he was missing his parents. He was a bit sorry, a bit sad about them. They would miss him. They would believe he had been lost forever. He was thinking that his parents will think that they have missed him and their son is lost. But one day, a fortune made, he would return home, and then nobody would care any more about school reports and what he ate and why he came home late. And then he thought one day he'll get good luck and he'll come back to home. And that day his parents will not be worried about his school reports. They will not be worried about what he ate and why he came late. He thought that they will be so happy and they will forget everything when one day I will return back home. Ranji would be waiting for him at the station, and Suraj would bring him back a present. He was imagining all these, that when he will return back, he will come back home. His best friend Ranji will wait for him at the station, and he will bring some present for him, some gifts for him. What he can bring? An Africa lion. Either he will bring Africa lion perhaps, or transistor radio. He will bring for him. But he wished Ranji was with him now. But he was wishing, it was his deep desire that his best friend Ranji would have been here with him. He wished the ragged hippie was still with him. He wished that the ragged means with torn clothes, hippie person, that odd with odd appearance, that man, he was thinking about that man. He was thinking that he would have been with him. And adventure was always more fun when one had company. If there is any company, adventure is more enjoyable. He had finished both apples by the time the train showed signs of reaching another station. But now he finished both the apples, and it was time for train to stop at the next station. This time it seemed to be moving into the station itself. Earlier the train stopped at a small halt. Now the train was going to stop at the railway station, not just a siding. Earlier it was a small halt, a railway siding, but this time train was going to stop at railway station. It passed a lot of signals and buildings and advertisement boards before slowing to a halt beside a wide, familiar platform. This train was passing through many signals and buildings and the advertisement boards. We know that on the railway station there are many advertisement boards, sidewise the buildings we can see, and where the train was going to stop, it was little familiar for that boy. That platform was familiar to that boy. Suraj looked out of the door and caught sight of the board bearing the station's name. Now Suraj looked out of the door and he saw that board on which the station's name was written. He was so astonished that he almost fell out of the compartment. Astonished means very surprised. After reading the name of the station, he was very much shocked and surprised. He was back at his hometown. After traveling 40 or 50 miles, Here he was home again. From where he started the journey, he returned at the same place. So it was a great shock for him. He couldn't understand it. The train hadn't turned. Of that he was certain. He was sure that the train did not take any turn. And it hadn't been moving backward. He was certain of that too. About this also he was sure that train did not turn back, did not move backward. He climbed out of the compartment and looked up and down the platform. Yes, the engine had changed ends. He climbed out of the carriage and at the platform he just observed it nicely. What happened? The engine changed ends. Engine had changed ends. Maybe earlier the engine was in the front, now the engine was at the back. It happens for changing. It was only the local apple train. The train in which he was traveling, it was just local apple train carrying apples from one place to another. Suraj glowed angrily at everyone on the platform. He was very angry with him. He stared. Glowed angrily means stared angrily at everyone on the platform. It was as though the rest of the world had played a trick on him. He felt that the whole world has played a trick for him. The whole world has made him fool. He made his way to the waiting room and slipped into the street through the back door. First he went to the waiting room and from the back door he went into the street. He did not want a ticket collector asking him awkward questions. He did not want to face the ticket collector. We know that when we finish our journey on the railway platform, the ticket collector used to check the tickets, and he was not willing the ticket collector would ask him any awkward questions. It had been a free ride, and with that he comforted himself. He consoled himself that anyhow he got a free ride. Shrugging his shoulders, shrugging means raising his shoulders, Suraj sauntered down the road to the bazaar. Sauntered means walked in slow, relaxed manner. He was relaxed because he did not spend any money free of cost. He traveled today. So he was relaxed and he just moved towards the bazaar. Someday, he thought, he would take a train and really go somewhere, and he would buy a ticket just to make sure of getting there. Then he thought himself, he thought that one day surely he will go somewhere, and that time he will surely buy a ticket because it will be a surety for him to reach somewhere. If he will have the ticket, surely he will reach somewhere. I'm going everywhere, he said fiercely. I'm going everywhere and no one can stop me. He was just imagining that everywhere he will go and nobody will stop him if he will be having a ticket. I hope, my dear children, you all have understood this chapter. Read this chapter twice, thrice and try to understand it. Thank you.